Hello, my name is Will Miller and I'll be going over Chapter 6, Input and Output Devices. So first of all, what is an input device? Well, an input device is any data or instructions that are used by a computer. Input devices are hardware used to translate words, sounds, images, and actions that people understand into a form that a system unit can process. Okay, keyboard entry. You're probably more aware of this type of input than any other type of input. There's traditional keyboards, and then there's the ergonomic keyboards. Of course, there's wireless keyboards and PDA keyboards, and finally a virtual keyboard. And this just displays an image of a keyboard on a touch screen. There are several different features, anywhere from typewriter keyboard combined with a numeric keyboard to being able to toggle keys on and off, and then also to be able to perform a combination of keys that perform an action, such as Control V will paste things, Control C will copy things. So let's talk about pointing devices. So the mouse is the best example of this. The optical mouse is the ones that are the modern type of mouse. However, there are still people that use mechanical mouse, and these just involve a small little ball on the inside the mouse that moves, that rotates as you move the mouse. There's cordless and wireless mouse, or mice, that use batteries to communicate wirelessly to your system unit. And then of course there's a trackball. This is an older technology. And there's touch pads, like what's on many laptops have touch pads and touch surfaces. And finally there's a pointing stick that some of your laptops or notebooks might have. Let's talk about some other pointing devices, such as touch screens. This is what you would normally see on, or what you normally recognize as your smartphones have touch pads or touch screens. A lot of monitors are now touch screens. Joysticks are used with computer games. We're able to they measure things like pressure and speed and direction of the joystick. There's other controls, including buttons and triggers. A stylus is just a pen-like device commonly used with tablet PCs and PDAs and some smartphones, to where you're able to not only draw images, but it actually measures the pressure that you're pushing down with. So let's talk about some scanning devices. An optical scanner, also known simply as a scanner, accepts document consisting of text and or images and converts them to machine-readable form. These devices do not recognize individual letters or images. Rather, they recognize light, dark, and colored areas that make up individual letters or images. There are several different types. There's the flatbed, the portable, and a document scanner. Some other types of scanning devices include card readers. So card readers typically have the user's name, some type of an identification number, and a signature embossed on the card. Additionally, encoded information is often stored on the card as well. Card readers interpret this encoded information. So there's a couple of different types. There's the magnetic card reader. The information is encoded on a thin magnetic strip located on the back of the card. And then there's the RFID reader, which has a small RFID, radio frequency identification microchip, that contains the user's encoded information. Whenever the card is passed within a few inches of the card reader, the user information is read. There's of course barcode readers that just are able to read UPC codes and other types of printed codes. There's character and mark recognition. Magnetic ink character recognition is used to read the bank information off of your checks and deposit slips. Optical character recognition is used whenever you have pre-printed characters on a document. You can actually feed it into go through an OCR process that through the scanning process that actually converts the light and dark areas from a scan to machine readable code that might represent A through Z or other characters. Optical mark recognition senses the presence or absence of a mark, such as a pencil mark, and is often used to score multiple choice tests. Okay, so digital cameras are just images that are recorded digitally on a disk or in the camera's memory rather than on film, and then downloaded or transferred to the computer or placed it on a web page. Digital video cameras record motion digitally on a disk or in the camera's memory. Most can still take pictures as well as videos. Web cameras are specialized digital video cameras that capture images and send them to a computer for broadcast over the internet. And as technology is advanced, we've seen the mashing of these to where they're not three individual items. Now you can use your camera on your phone as a digital camera, as a digital video recorder, and also as a webcam. Let's talk about audio input devices. An audio input device converts sound into a form that can be processed by the system unit. The most widely used audio input device is the microphone. Voice recognition system uses a microphone, a sound card, and specialized software. These systems allow users to operate computers and to create documents using voice commands. They can record for several hours before connecting to a computer to edit, store, and print dictated information. The best well-known voice recognition systems include Siri and Google Now. Each one can recognize not only a voice, but can be programmed in recognizing the specific user's voice, so that way if there are certain inflections or certain ways that the individual talks, the computer can make adjustments for that. So what is output? Output is processed data or information and typically takes the form of text, graphics, photos, audio, and or video. Output devices are any hardware used to provide or to create output. They translate information that has been processed by the system unit into a form that humans can understand. Monitors just present visual images of text and graphics. Clarity refers to the quality and sharpness of the displayed images. So resolution. Images are formed on a monitor by a series of dots or pixels. Resolution is expressed as a matrix of those dots or pixels. Dot, pixel, or pitch is the distance between each pixel. The lower the dot pitch, the clearer the image is produced. Refresh rate indicates how often a displayed image is updated or redrawn on the monitor. Size or viewable size is measured by the diagonal lengths of a monitor's viewing area, and aspect ratio is determined by the width of the monitor divided by the height. So some other types of monitors include flat panel monitors. These require less power to operate. They're more portable and thin, and most are backlit. And of course, there's different types of backlighting. There's different types of flat panel monitors. These flat panel monitors include liquid crystal display, and these are an older type, LCD. Light emitting diode, LED. These are more advanced backlighting. They consume less power as well. An organic light emitting diode. These provide a thin layer of organic compound that produce the light behind the liquid crystal display. Talk about curved monitors. These have a concave screen that provides better viewing angles near the edges of the screen. They're used by high-end gamers, used for smart watch displays as well. Let's talk about e-books and other types of monitors. An e-book reader are handheld book-sized devices that display text and graphics. They typically will use an e-ink technology. They produce images that reflect light. They're a lot easier to read. Some examples of this would be Kindle and the Nook. Data projectors are connected to microcomputers and project computer output just as it would appear on a monitor. High-definition television, or HDTV, is the merger of microcomputers and television. HDTV delivers a much clearer and more detailed widescreen picture than regular television. Let's talk about printers. This just translates information that has been processed by the system unit and present the information on paper. Printed output is often called the hard copy. Again, some features that you need to look at is the resolution, whether or not it can print in color, so the color capability, speed, memory, and duplex, whether it can duplex print or not, which means it can print on both sides. Okay, we're going to look at several different types of printer. The first one is the inkjet printer. Just sprays ink at a high speed onto a surface of paper. It's available in black only or in color. They're reliable, they're quiet, and they're relatively inexpensive to purchase. Typically, inkjet printers produce 17 to 19 pages per minute of black only, or about 13 to 15 pages of color output. Let's talk about laser printers. These use a laser light beam to produce images with excellent letter and graphics quality. They're available in black only or in color as well. They're reliable, they're fairly quiet, but they're more expensive than inkjets. They're faster than inkjets and are used in applications requiring high quality output. There's two categories. There's, of course, the personal type, and then there's the shared type. Some other types of printers include thermal printers, and these just use heat elements to produce images on heat-sensitive paper. This is used a lot in the retail industry to create the little printed receipts for us. Dot matrix printers form characters and images using a series of small pins on a print head. This used to be the most prevalent form of printer, and now has found, and is still now used, not necessarily in homes, but it's used in businesses that require carbon copies. Plotters are special purpose printers for producing maps, images, and architectural and engineering drawings. Photo printers are special purpose printers designed to print photo quality images from digital cameras. Portable printers are designed to work with a notebook computer and may be inkjet or laser printer. These can print in black and white or color and connect with USB or parallel port connections. Let's talk about audio output devices. These translate audio information from the computer into sounds that people can understand. The most widely used audio output device are speakers and headphones. Digital music players, also known as digital media player, are specialized devices for storing, transferring, and playing audio files. Let's talk about a combination input-output device. These are fax machines are included on this, and also MFD or multifunctional devices. These are the printers that also have scanners built in, and a lot of times they'll have faxes built in. Internet phones are specialized input and output devices for receiving and sending voice communications. Voice over IP is transmission of telephone calls over communication or over computer networks. This has become a commonplace. For instance, T-Mobile now, many of their phones, and AT&T, many of their phones have the ability to not only use the cell phone towers, but they also have the ability to use Wi-Fi, so that makes them voice over IP. There's three different approaches for voice over IP, and this includes computer to computer, computer to traditional phone, and traditional phone to traditional phone. Let's talk about drones and robots. Drones are unarmed aerial vehicles. Take input from controllers and send back video and sound to the user. They're very cost effective currently, and it depends on what the use is. Of course, you know, they run anywhere from $20 all the way up into the thousands. Robots use microphones, cameras, and other sensors as inputs. The output is dependent on the use of the robot. You know, they're used in anything from manufacturing to assisting in surgery. Virtual reality is created in 3D through computers for a virtual experience. Headgear and gloves have sensors to collect data that work with software. Okay. Well, I hope you found this informative, and thank you very much.